I'm Ruchita, your host. Welcome to today's insightful session. Do you understand your body clock? Do we understand what our circadian rhythm means? And we are going to understand how does the timing of meals and sleep impact us and why hydration is so important. I welcome you onto this session to understand all this and much, much more. To begin the session, it is my honor and privilege to invite Farooq Tarapur. He, ladies and gentlemen, is an Olympian, two-time world champion in sailing, and has had an active sporting career of 40 years. He's won innumerable awards, including the Chhatrapati Shivaji Award and the Arjuna Award. But most importantly, he's a flag bearer on this journey with the mission Har Ghar Healthy, Har Ghar Medicine Free. Let's listen to him very, very carefully because he's got knowledge that we should all understand and imply in our lives to benefit of it. Over to you, Far.
Thank you, Ruchita, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this exciting Monday session. Really excited to see all of you guys locked in early and wanting to, improve your knowledge regarding preventive medicine. What really shocked me, I was reading that day an article where preventive medicine is becoming really big. And people have really realized the importance of this preventive medication. There's a university in the US which had only 48 seats for this, and there were more than 2,000 applications received. So imagine how important preventive medicine is today as doctors have started to realize the side effects the medication causes. I'm not against medicine. I'm not against advancement in technology, but you got to understand that use that advancement wisely and please don't abuse it. It is when you start abusing it, it starts having an adverse effect with the various side effects that it has. I just, I always said that I hope you had an early dinner and done your exercise because there is nothing worse than eating a late night dinner and going to sleep. Today, sitting is considered as the second smoking, okay, or is rather considered as smoking because it's actually worse than that. And because of technology and because life is becoming more and more comfortable and convenient, people are moving lesser and lesser. And unless we are deliberate about it, there is a price to be paid and there is consequences over there. And I was just wondering that I've been saying this over and over again, but yet I see people not moving. And I said, I need to try and come from a different angle. We are human beings. We got two hands, two legs. We can move. And that is the reason why I brought this plant today to show you. This plant can't move, but we can. So, for heaven's sake, don't be a plant. All right. And I often say that if you rest, you rust. And if you rust, you die. Even when you look at older people, there is an amazing amount of, when you find some old person struggling with something, your conscience tells you that you need to help them, to make their life more comfortable. But unfortunately, that is the death sentence you're writing over there. Because if they don't struggle, they're going to get weaker and weaker and weaker by the day. So if that is applicable to an old person, imagine how much it is applicable to you, just that you wouldn't know, you wouldn't understand about it right now. So, I'm very passionate about this subject that you need to deliberately find a way to move at least every hour, at least move 2 minutes every hour. And unless and until you're going to deliberately put it into your life, put it into your practice, it's not going to happen automatically, right? So, let's get a little bit serious about it, get yourselves organized, find a way to, time yourself, and do things. In fact, it's really shocking to me that just a few years ago we started this, that you need to move, and today all over the internet I'm finding that they're finally caught up with what we are saying, and they've started. Every second article you see, they say move after a meal. And imagine, when I started saying this in the beginning, there was so much opposition and so many questions. Oh, after a meal, after a meal. Yes, guys, after a meal, because that's the time when the sugar is going to have the maximum spike, right? People are beginning to see the correlation between sugar spiking due to due to a sedentary lifestyle more, rather than to the carbs that they are eating. Okay, so they have started to realize that the food is, you know the of course the GI and the GL is important, the glycemic index, the glycemic load is important, but that is just a part of the equation. The other part of the equation is movement, and the other part of the equation is stress. And just 2 days ago, I was reading this amazing article from Japan, where they said that try this simple logic, and I tried it for the last 2 days, and it's amazing that there are a lot of people nowadays suffering from dementia, and this is getting the onset of dementia is getting earlier and earlier and earlier. And the only reason why this is happening earlier and earlier, because the brain and the body is not getting connected. And they came up with this unique idea that, just a simple idea which you will laugh at, try brushing your teeth with the other hand that you're brushing. That means if you're a right-handed guy, brush with the left hand. If you're a left-handed person, brush with the right hand. And I tried it for, the last 3 days. It wasn't comfortable at all. Okay. And it just got me thinking that how valuable this simple piece of advice is, and how it can really impact somebody and prevent somebody from, getting dementia, and delay, at least, if not at least reverse, at least delay the onset and delay the agony that not only that person has to suffer, but the entire family around them has to suffer. So, guys, get serious about this talk that we are talking about moving. Move, because you are not a plant. Remember, if you rest, you rust. If you rust, you die. So listen to this, session very carefully from Raj, because Raj believed in something, that a good luxurious lifestyle is no movement. And then when he realized that, whether you drive a Mercedes Benz or a BMW, uh, you have to find a way to move, either on your own bicycle, or or walk with your legs. So listen to Raj very carefully, because he has sufficient knowledge on this subject, because he has been on both sides of the scale. He has held both sides of the theory, and now he's on the right track with the community, and has a lot to share that will have an amazing impact on your overall holistic health. So over to you, Raj.
Thank you very much, Farooq, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's session. As rightly said by Farooq, preventive cure is becoming important day by day. And it is going to be important because, finally people have realized that it is not a good idea to fall sick. Most of these lifestyle challenges that we see or go through, I mean, most of them don't have a U-turn. So tonight we are going to cover a very, very important subject. And one second. So tonight we are going to cover a very, very important subject. This is one of my very, very favorite one that this is one of my favorite subject, right? That the continue to share. Okay. The importance of circadian rhythm and importance of hydration. राइट हम ये सारे पॉइंट्स कवर करेंगे दैट क्यों ये इम्पोर्टेंट है नाउ एज फारूक पॉइंटेड व्हेन आई वाज ऑन द अदर साइड आई मीन व्हेन आई वाज वर्किंग एंड आई वाज इन द कॉर्पोरेट मेरा एक थ्योरी वाज वेरी क्लियर कि भाई ये दिन की एक्टिविटीज है इतनी एक्टिविटीज कंप्लीट करनी है इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द टाइमिंग दैट यू आर डूइंग लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल यू हैव टू हैव अ डिनर सो आई हैड नो clue दैट डिनर्स आर लाइक अर्ली कर लो लेट कर लो, पॉइंट इतना बड़ा क्लियर था कि इवनिंग में एक टाइम खाना खाना है. सो समटाइम्स ऐसा भी होता था कि आई वुड कम बैक होम एट 2 a.m. इन द मॉर्निंग, एंड दैट्स द टाइम आई यूज्ड टू हैव माय डिनर, लाइक 2 a.m. एंड सो आप अगर आप में से कोई भी मेट्रो सिटी में रहते हैं, आप चले जाओ लेट नाइट रेस्टोरेंट्स, लेट नाइट ईटरीज, लेट नाइट जॉइंट्स, समवेयर ये थियरी हमारे सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में बैठते जाती है कि इवनिंग्स आर द इजी टाइम, इवनिंग आर द फ्री टाइम, इवनिंग इज द फैमिली टाइम, एंड खाना खाना है रात को, लेट नाइट डिनर्स एंड ऑल दो स्टफ, कन्वीनियंस अराउंड इट. आई मीन ग्रेजुअली आप उस पॉइंट को एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हो. When you see all across everywhere food courts, restaurants everywhere, right, we start adapting to this कि this is how life is supposed to be, and gradually हम वो उससे दूर चले जाते हैं from the facts. So tonight we are going to see the importance, that what is the importance of circadian rhythm, what is the importance of hydration. Now, do you know that when you eat matters the most in healthy weight? फारूक भी अभी इस पॉइंट को पॉइंट कर रहे थे दैट इट इज although the GI and the GL makes a difference, but it also makes a difference like what time are we eating. We all know the saying, you are what you eat, but the latest research shows that when you eat may be as crucial as what you eat, right? Now, this is a simple example of how a day cycle inside the body का जो है उसका रिप्रेजेंटेशन है. अलग अलग टाइम पे अगर आप देखेंगे कि at 2 a.m. in the morning we are at the deepest sleep. Now this is how our body is designed. uh, our body temperature is lowest at something around 4:30 in the morning. हमारा जो ब्लड प्रेशर राइज होता है that is something around 6:45 in the morning, right? हमारा जो, so if you see your bowel movement, your alertness level, everything, there is a body clock to it, and this is how we are designed. now imagine करिए अगर आप इस क्लॉक को डिस्टर्ब करते हैं. नाउ एक दो बार आपने किया ठीक है, द बॉडी कैन टॉलरेट, इट कैन अडेप्ट, बट if you this is what you make as a lifestyle, imagine the consequence we are going to pay towards it. एंड ये बहुत कॉमन है, एंड पीपल आर नॉट रियलाइजिंग द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ दिस. रिसेंटली आई वॉज वॉचिंग अ वीडियो, एंड उसमें ये बोल रहा था, इट वॉज अबाउट जोधपुर, कि जोधपुर को ब्लू क्यों पेंट किए थे. बिकॉज ब्लू के वजह से इंसेक्ट्स वर नॉट कमिंग टूवर्ड्स द हाउसेज एंड ऑल दो वॉल्स एंड ऑल दो स्टफ. इवन अ इंसेक्ट रियलाइजेस कि ब्लू लाइट का इम्पैक्ट क्या है, वो उसको अपने पास नहीं आने देता. नाउ दैट्स हाउ द ब्लू लाइट पावर, इट इज पावरफुल. कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारा एक्सपोजर टुवर्ड्स द स्क्रीन टाइम एंड ऑल दो स्टफ, इमेजिन व्हाट इम्पैक्ट इट इज क्रिएटिंग ऑन अस. सो अगर आप ये टाइमिंग देखेंगे, द बॉडी हैज टू परफॉर्म सर्टन फंक्शंस एट द गिवन सेट ऑफ टाइम. ना अगर ये टाइम नहीं होता है तो क्या होता है, आपका जो बॉडी ने जो फंक्शन परफॉर्म करना है वो नहीं होता है सही तरीके से, राइट? नाउ सर्काडियन रिदम का हमारे हार्मोनल साइकिल पे भी बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट है. नाउ अगर आप ये साइकिल देखो तो देर इज लाइक सनराइज टू सनसेट, एंड देन देर इज सनसेट टू सनराइज. नाउ बॉडी हैज टू रिलीज सर्टेन सेट ऑफ हार्मोन्स एट a पर्टिकुलर गिवन ऑफ टाइम पीरियड. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट आर दे. नाउ ये जो है हार्मोन, इट हेल्प्स इन रेगुलेटिंग द स्लीप वेक साइकिल्स, राइट? सॉरी मेरा इमेज इस पे आ रहा है, आई कांट रीड दिस. Now, this is a hormone, cortisol, which helps in regulating your stress hormone, regulates BP, suppresses inflammation, increases, regulates the blood sugar level, controls sleep wake cycle. Now, ये रोल है इस पर्टिकुलर हार्मोन का. तो अगर आप ऐसे ही देखेंगे तो एवरी हार्मोन हैज गॉट अ रोल टू प्ले. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस, बिकॉज हम अपनी सर्काडियन रिदम को डिस्टर्ब कर देते हैं, ये जो चीज़ जो रिलीज होनी है बॉडी में एट अ पर्टिकुलर गिवन टाइम, ये नहीं हो पाती, एंड देन देर इज अ हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंस. एंड देन ये जो चीज़ जो हमारे लाइफस्टाइल की वजह से हमको कंट्रोल करनी चाहिए थी, समवेयर वी स्टार्ट टेकिंग द मेडिकेशन सपोर्ट इन रेगुलेटिंग दिस होल थिंग, राइट? जिसको नींद नहीं आ रहा है वो नींद की दवाई ले रहा है, जिसको सुबह उठ के एनर्जी फील नहीं हो रहा वो कुछ और ले रहा है. नाउ नाउ सडनली it's like a very one of a very favorite line that Farooq always says, that if you don't make food as your फूड को अगर आप मेडिसिन की तरह नहीं लो, मतलब उसको इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं दो, तो थोड़े दिन में योर मेडिसिन विल बिकम द फूड, राइट? सो इफ यू सी, ये जो सर्काडियन रिदम है इसका बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है जो प्ले करने के लिए. Now, what happens when you have a derailed circadian rhythm? So you have a aligned clock versus a misaligned clock, right? Now, sometimes we feel that we are not enjoying life if we are living a disciplined life. ये कहीं ना कहीं आप कहीं सोसाइटी में जा रहे हैं, आप किसी फैमिली इवेंट में मिल रहे हैं लोगों को, संडे इज द लेट डे, यू नीड टू गेट अप लेट, सैटरडे नाइट इज द फैमिली नाइट, सो लेट गो आउट फॉर अ लेट नाइट डिनर। कहीं ना कहीं ये जो हमने हैप्पीनेस को इसके साथ जोड़ दिया है, आई एम श्योर पीपल हु लिव अ डिसिप्लिन लाइफ ऑल्सो एंजॉय देयर लाइफ. It is the way we look at it, right? It is the way, it is a perspective. So you need to give importance that what is your perspective and आप किस चीज को importance दे रहे हैं. Now अगर आप एक align clock देखेंगे versus a misaligned clock देखेंगे, which means वो कभी भी कुछ भी कर रहा है, what is the difference? The difference is the misaligned one. आप देखेंगे जो fasting, feeding, sleep, wake cycle, hormonal levels ये सब disturbed है. As a result, as a consequence of this, आप depression देखेंगे, fatty liver disease देखेंगे, diabetes, inflammation, obesity, cardiovascular diseases, right? Now, when should I eat? A circadian view on the food intake and metabolic regulation uh, to 2023. So ये एक उसकी रिसर्च है जो आप देख रहे हैं कि क्या डिफरेंस है when it is aligned versus when it is misaligned. And you know why the youth today is suffering a lot of underlying medical challenges. Why I say underline? बिकॉज ये यंग है, ये भी मैनेज कर पा रहे हैं वो सारे इरेगुलर पैरामीटर्स को वो मैनेज कर पा रहे हैं, बट ये अंडरलाइन ही है. बहुत जल्द अगर इरप्ट होके बाहर आ जाएगा, इट विल हैव वेरी सीरियस कॉन्सिक्वेंस. आप बच्चों को ले लीजिए, बच्चों के लाइफस्टाइल को देख लो, एंड दिस रियली स्केर्स मी बिकॉज ऑफ आप बहुत दिन तक नहीं रह सकते उससे. So you need to make a choice because you are a part of this community. You are there. वो जो फरूक का जो मिशन है, हर घर तंदुरुस्त, हर घर मेडिसिन फ्री. जैसे ये सारा वेव आया है, आई थिंक नाउ पीपल आर गेटिंग मोर एंड मोर लर्नड अबाउट दिस होल थिंग. So aim at eating during the daylight time. Very very important. इस सेशन की शुरुआत में ही सबसे पहला स्टेटमेंट ही यही था कि आई होप यू ऑल हैड अर्ली डिनर. Now why it is important to have a daylight timing of food? Let's see why it is. This is the most important. This is one of the most important slide of today's presentation. So इसको सबसे ज़्यादा ध्यान से देखिए. Why it is important? Because our body is made of eating during the day. Why? Our body is most sensitive to insulin, a hormone that moves glucose from your blood into most cells to be used as a fuel during the day. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग जो इस व्हाट्सएप कम्युनिटी का पार्ट हो, आप देख रहे हैं वहाँ पे वी आर, हम कुछ लोग की मदद कर रहे हैं उनकी डायबिटीज को रिवर्स करने में, उनके लाइफस्टाइल को. एंड जब जब वो टाइम ऑफ फूड पे वो ध्यान देते हैं, दे आर ईटिंग अर्ली डिनर एंड ऑल, you can see that how the reports are the next day morning, how the reports are coming. So it is very important to have your food during the daytime. Our resistance to insulin is highest at night. Resistance to insulin, what it means that insulin resistance highest है, इसका मतलब है आपका शुगर लेवल हाई होगा at night when we are less active and our body thinks it should be resting. So अगर आप रात को खाना खा रहे हैं, it is no big brainer that in the morning your fasting sugar level is going to be high because that's when your insulin resistance is highest. As a result, the calories that we consume get deposited post evening as fat, and it doesn't get deposited as good fat, it gets deposited, and hence your cholesterol level, your triglyceride level, your lipid profile is not good. You know, we should plan for a more viable option for eating during 12-hour window each day, for example, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. In the evening. So आप एक 12 आवर का विंडो में आप खा रहे हैं, एंड देन 12 आवर विंडो में आप नहीं खा रहे हैं, बट उससे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल फॉलो दिस प्रैक्टिस, कि वो उस विंडो में खाते हैं, बट एट टाइम्स आई सी दैट वो विंडो की टाइमिंग सही नहीं है. You need to plan it accordingly so that you don't skip your breakfast, you don't skip your lunch, and you're not eating too much post sunset. राइट? ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है इसको समझना. एंड अगर आपने सिर्फ इसी को प्रैक्टिस में लेके आ गए, सिर्फ इसी चीज को आप फॉलो करने लगेंगे, यू विल सी अ मेजर सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंस इन योर हेल्थ. नेवर स्किप अ ब्रेकफास्ट. व्हाई इट इज सो इंपॉर्टेंट? बिकॉज जब आप रात भर फास्ट कर रहे हैं, इट इज मोर लाइक ब्रेकिंग अ फास्ट. Your body has consumed a lot of nutrition in repairing the free radical damages happen inside the body. It needs a lot of antioxidants. It needs a lot of other stuff. So when you get up in the morning, your nutritional level in the body is up very very low. And to kickstart the day, the body needs the right set of nutrition. And इसीलिए ये बहुत ज़्यादा important है कि you never skip your breakfast. Parents, it is very important to understand that your kid takes a proper breakfast before leaving the house. ये बहुत बार ये एक फिनोमेना बन गया है कि सुबह बच्चा कुछ नहीं खा के जा रहा है स्कूल, एंड बाय द टाइम द किड इज कमिंग बैक फ्रॉम द स्कूल ऑलरेडी 2-3 बज चुका है. एंड कई बार बिकॉज ऑफ दिस देर इज अ फटीगनेस इन द बॉडी, अलर्टनेस लेवल इज लो. So, so this is why it is important to have breakfast early in the morning. Don't skip a lunch, right? नाउ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज अगर आप सनराइज टू सनसेट देखेंगे तो आपका डाइजेस्टिव मेटाबॉलिज्म जो है वो सबसे हाईएस्ट होता है, लाइक इट गोज एज पर द सन साइकिल, एंड आफ्टरनून में योर मेटाबॉलिज्म इज एट द हाईएस्ट पीक. नाउ दिस इज द टाइम व्हेन यू शुड बी टेकिंग योर प्रॉपर मील. उसको स्किप मत करिए. रिसेंटली आई वाज स्पीकिंग टू अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन, एंड ही इज अ बिजनेसमैन, और वो कहीं गए हुए थे और बाय द टाइम वो आए एंड लाइक 4:30 ही वाज हैविंग हिज लंच. बट थैंकफुली बिकॉज वो इस प्रोग्राम से जुड़े हैं, ही अंडरस्टैंड द इम्पोर्टेंस, और उन्होंने उसको डिनर की तरह से ट्रीट किया, एंड फाइनली वाज एबल टू बैलेंस इट वेल. सो दिस इज सम बेसिक यूजफुल टिप्स दैट यू विल लर्न एंड दैट यू नीड टू इम्प्लीमेंट इन योर लाइफ स्टाइल, सो दैट हम वो सही चीज कर सकें एटलीस्ट. आप कभी भी जानवर को भी देखिए, वो भी रात को नहीं खाना खाता है. उनको कोई स्कूल और एजुकेशन में नहीं सिखाया गया. कभी भी आप डाउट में हैं, आप जस्ट लुक एट द एनिमल्स इन द जंगल, हाउ दे लिव, राइट? वो चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अडाप्ट करने की. Go for a light dinner, and an early dinner is very, very important. As we saw in the previous slide, that insulin resistance is the highest. So this is not the time when you're going to have a high carb food, right? This is the time when you need to have the right set of nutrition, and lekin at the right time. So since our body is most insulin resistant at night, avoid carbs late night to prevent risk of both diabetes and heart diseases. समटाइम्स बहुत सारे लोग को ऐसा लगता है कि उनको लेट नाइट क्रेविंग हो रही है. प्रोबेबली योर चॉइस ऑफ फूड इज नॉट गुड, हेंस वो लेट नाइट क्रेविंग आता है. बिकॉज कार्ब्स में, कैलोरीज में ये बहुत कॉमन होता है कि आप वो urge of eating again and again is very high because of that. Healthy adults who were allowed to eat right up until the bedtime had higher fasting sugar and cholesterol levels than those who had a hard stop at 7 p.m. Trust me, अभी इन द लास्ट कपल ऑफ डेज बहुत सारे केसेस को हमने देखे हैं, और वेयर द शुगर, वेयर द डायबिटिक वैल्यू वाज हाई, द कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल इज हाई, द लिपिड प्रोफाइल इज नॉट गुड, द फैटी लिवर इज देयर. सब में एक चीज कॉमन था, लेट नाइट डिनर. I know of a young girl around 28 years old who works for the Indian military intelligence. I also know some couple of police wala. I also know some couple of pilots. सबके अगर आप रिपोर्ट को देखोगे, एक कॉमन फिनोमेना, एक पैटर्न दिखता है सब में. और जब आप उनको थोड़ा सा पूछते हो कि व्हाट टाइम आर यू हैविंग योर डिनर एंड ऑल द स्टफ, यू विल सी दैट कॉमन फिनोमेना, दैट कॉमन पैटर्न इन दैट. So it is quite obvious. Unusual eating time can produce a disruption in the circadian system that might lead to unhealthy consequences. Hence, watch what you eat, but never forget, keep an eye on the clock too. So when you're a part of this WhatsApp community, when you're posting a plate over there, the health buddies get to see two things: what time of the day you are eating your food, and second is what are you eating. I mean, you must have observed in many cases, like people were eating they were having their breakfast at around 10:30, and like our health experts, जब वो उसको comment करना शुरू कर दिया, now they are having early breakfast, and you can also see the difference in the diabetic value. Somebody is going for a weight management program for that. Even in terms of immunity and other stuff, it makes a big difference. Are you drinking enough water? Right? My personal theory was पानी तब पीना चाहिए जब प्यास लगे. Right? When you feel thirsty, that's when you should drink water. After coming into this program, that's when I realized that if you're having a water after you're feeling thirsty, it's already too late. Right? I would never focus on having water, and uska bhi consequence bahut zyada. Let's see what happens. Now, amount of water in the various body parts, your brain has almost 73%, heart 73%, lungs 83%, kidneys 79%, muscles 79%, bones 31%, skin 64%. Now, this is the hydration level of these various organs. Now, imagine if they are not hydrated well, what would be the consequence of that? as a result. At birth, 1 year, like at birth, 78%, 1 year, 65%, adult woman, 55%, adult men, 60%. Now, these are the amount of water in our various body parts. Water and your health, right? Uh, like अगर आप ऊपर से नीचे तक देखिए, water has got a very very important role to play in our body. Drinking plenty of water every day is important for good health. Your body relies on water for many functions, such as ये सारे function जो आप देख रहे हैं, right? Protecting organs and tissues, flushing out waste products, transporting oxygen to all parts of the body, supporting cell growth and reproduction, right? Between 50 to 80% of the human body is made of water. Lubricating joints to help you move, preventing constipation, absorbing nutrients, regulating body temperature, very, very important. Moistening eyes, nose, and mouth, again, very, very important. So, water is important. Now, ये जो आप cell देख रहे हैं, एक one is a very well hydrated cell and another is a dehydrated cell. We all get to hear a lot of health related issues अगर और जब आप उसको अच्छे से सर्च करोगे what is the root cause, you'll figure out that like hydration versus dehydration plays a very very important role. So staying hydrated takes more than just increasing your fluid intake. Here's everything you need to learn about hydrating yourself at a cellular level, so it is very important to understand this. नाउ सिम्टम्स ऑफ डिहाइड्रेशन क्या होता है? अगर आपने इनफ आप हाइड्रेटेड नहीं हो तो उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा? थर्स्टी, फटीग, मसल क्रैम्प्स, concentrated urine, heat stroke, dry mouth and sticky saliva, eye twitching, dry and sunken eyes, rapid heart rate, headache and irritability. नाउ ये कुछ कॉन्सिक्वेंस है अगर आप देखेंगे, एंड एक और होता है जो बहुत कॉमन है, फटीगनेस की वजह से हेडेक शुरू हो जाता है. सो इफ यू आर नॉट हाइड्रेटेड वेल, बहुत कॉमन है हेडेक होना. Now, thirst or hunger, a common mix-up. Now, this is another second biggest challenge, especially in the weight management for the people who are looking for weight management. Also, this is a big challenge. जिनको late night cravings होती है. Sometimes we confuse between is it a hunger or are we thirsty. Yes, at times what happens because we don't drink enough water. कई बार there is a craving to eat something. Now, actually, it is not the eat ka craving. It is you just didn't had enough water. Farooq very beautifully says in our program that whenever you feel like eating or munching anything, first go and drink 2 glasses of water. Wait for 10-15 minutes. उसके बाद भी अगर आपको लग रहा है then it's a different reason, or else in 95% chances are there कि आपको उसके बाद वो urge वो craving नहीं होएगा. Both hunger and thirst are regulated by hypothalamus, leading to similar cues. Now, what do you mean by cue? दोनों के symptom almost same ही रहते हैं. Now, causes confusion, dehydration, right? So it gives you a hunger-like signals. So sometimes we tend to eat a lot and forgetting कि we didn't drink enough water, right? How much water should we be drinking? As per the National Institute of Nutrition, 8 to 12 glasses of water is suggested per day. आपको थोड़े दिन में समझ में आ जाएगा आपका राइट बैलेंस क्या है बिटवीन 8 to 12. व्हाट इज द राइट बैलेंस? यू विल अंडरस्टैंड इफ यू स्टार्ट लिसनिंग टू योर बॉडी. यू विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस पॉइंट वेरी क्लियरली. To be specific, adult men 32 to 58 ml per kg of body mass, adult women 27 to 52 ml per kg body mass. Start tracking your water, eat your water. What it means is, now मेरे को ये था कि probably in a couple of seconds I would just take a glass of water. Later, I realized कि water को भी आपको sip by sip पीना चाहिए, the way you drink wine, right? It is very important to understand that. Eat your water. Keep a water bottle handy wherever you are going. पहले ये मेरी हैबिट नहीं थी. मैं मेरे कार में ट्रैवल करता था तो आई वुड नेवर कैरी अ वाटर बॉटल थिंकिंग कि अरे 1 घंटे में तो पहुंच ही जाऊंगा. बट नाउ इफ आई एम देयर इन अ सिग्नल, ट्रैफिक सिग्नल और कहीं अगर मैं रुका हूँ, आई जस्ट ओपन माई बॉटल एंड टेक अ कपल ऑफ सिप्स. Include more of water loaded fruits and vegetables. Very important. Right? This is the hydration chart. You'll understand. I don't remember before coming to this program that ever I had a clean color of urine. I don't remember right from my childhood. It would be either yellow or something like that. It's only after coming into this program I realized the importance of this. So if your urine matches the color 1, 2, and 3, you are properly hydrated. Continue to consume fluids at the recommended amounts. But अगर आप वो red line के नीचे हैं, then you really need to give it a serious thought and you need to really program that आपको कितने देर तक कितना पानी पीना है. The best time दिन को 3-4 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर लो and then have the target of finishing that water intake in that time frame. Some hydration solutions, बहुत सारे लोग artificial juices, aerated drinks, alcohol, sugary drinks लेते हैं thinking कि ये भी तो fluid है, but it has very serious health related implications. Versus the choices that we should be making is take infused water, coconut water, healthy veggie juice or healthy fruit juices is recommended. Green, healthiest choice, water, fruit infused skim or milk, buttermilk, coconut water. Jo yellow hai, moderately healthy choice like chocolate milk, low calorie, sports drink. Red is like a completely no. So always go for water, coconut water, and all the stuff. Hydration and hormonal balances. Very important correlation between the two. In the year 2010, it demonstrated that hydration influences hormonal balance and detoxification process, which are closely linked to circadian rhythms, particularly the morning release of hormones such as cortisol. Hydration and sleep quality also plays a very, very important role. Pre-sleep hydration, while it is important to avoid excessive water intake before going to the bed because it disrupts your sleep, but moderate hydration in the evening can help in maintaining the fluid balance overnight. Right? Rehydration and sleep quality. A study by Benton and Young 2015 investigated the impact of hydration on mood and cognitive function. They found that even mild dehydration could negatively affect sleep quality and subsequent daytime alertness, indicating the role of hydration in the maintaining circadian rhythms. A lot of people जो caffeine लेते हैं in form of even green tea or black coffee, it leaches water from your body, right? आपको वो dehydrated रखता है. So जो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा coffee भी पी रहे हैं, like black coffee is like very common and popular these days, right? वो भी आपके water level को drop करता है body में. So it is not a good idea. Alcohol, liquor also drops water level in your body. How hydration affects sleep. Water is a critical nutrient that supports many physiological processes, including digestion, body temperature regulation, transport of oxygen, nutrient waste, physical and cognitive functioning in sleep. So आप देखिए, water also has got a major role to in accordance with sleep. These days, sleep is becoming the second biggest challenge. Post COVID, our average sleep hours have come down to 4.5, 5 hours. Imagine. सो स्लीप को भी अगर हम इम्पोर्टेंट नाउ इमेजिन करिए आपको अब स्लीप को भी इंपॉर्टेंस देना पड़ रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ द ओवर एक्सपोजर ऑफ द ब्लू स्क्रीन ओवर एक्सपोजर ऑफ मीडिया टीवी द लेट नाइट जो हम अपने सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को फीड कर रहे हैं ऑल दिस थिंग्स इज लीडिंग टू डिस्टर्ब स्लीप एंड उसके वजह से क्या होता है आपका जो पूरा बॉडी फंक्शन है वो डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है 5 takeaways. Start your day with water. Maintain regular intake of water throughout the day. Timing 30 minutes before the meal and not within 1 hour after the meal. Avoid sugary drinks and alcohol. Eat your water. And to the last slide, right? Shine every day. Start your day with gratitude and optimism. Have your nutrition on time. Intentions, have a clear intention, that, like, for example, we want to live a medicine free life. We want to live fit life till the day we are alive. So you need to have what's your health goal. हम सब फाइनेंस गोल बना लेते हैं हम सब बहुत सारी चीज़ों को प्लान करते हैं आपने कभी हेल्थ को प्रायोरिटी दी है अगर आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए व्हाट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इफ बीन गिवन अ चॉइस बिटवीन हेल्थ टाइम एंड मनी आई एम श्योर दैट मोस्ट ऑफ अस आर गोइंग टू से हेल्थ इज इंपॉर्टेंट बट आस्क योरसेल्फ द सेकंड क्वेश्चन हाउ मच इंपॉर्टेंस डिड यू गिव इट थ्रू आउट द डे Thankfully, this program helps you to do that when you are part of the community. वो जो छोटे छोटे interventions होते हैं जो छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जो आपको input मिलती हैं in that WhatsApp community, you are connected and engaged with this whole program. And when you build the right habits, you don't have to worry about anything because जब आपके habits correct हो जाते हैं, I mean your life goes smooth. I hope you picked up something new today, right? And exercise daily, at Farooq rightly said, walk, walk, and walk. This brings me to the end of today's session, but मैं आप लोग से एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज बोलना चाहता हूँ. One second. अभी जो कमिंग संडे जो फ्राइडे होगा, वी आर गोइंग टू हैव अ वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन इन दिस कमिंग फ्राइडे, एंड वी आर गोइंग टू हैव अ पैनल डिस्कशन. We will be asking Farooq and our panelists some very very critical questions what we are seeing around us. We will also have another health buddy with us who has significantly transformed through this program. So this Friday is going to be really special because आप Farooq को एंड आवर नेक्स्ट पैनलिस्ट वेदावती शेट्टी जो कॉर्पोरेट से है, उनका एक्सपीरियंस क्या है, लाइक कमिंग फ्रॉम आईटी बैकग्राउंड, वो कैसे इन सारी चीज़ों को लेके कर रहे हैं. एंड वी आर गोइंग टू थ्रो सम रियल टफ क्वेश्चंस टू देम जो रिलेवेंट है, जो आजकल हमारे इर्द गिर्द होती है. सो अगर आपके कोई क्वेश्चन है, डू सेंड इट थ्रू द पर्सन हु इज इनवाइटेड यू ओवर हियर, or you can definitely ask the question over there. But the Friday session is going to be really interesting one because उसमें कोई presentation नहीं होगा. It will be direct question and we'll be hearing the answers from the expert. So thank you very much. Over to Ruchita.
Thank you so much. That was really excellent. I hope clear on why we need to pay attention to how our body works and how it works like a clock, and just being in sync will immensely help us attain our goals in a much better format. Like Raj has already mentioned, I cannot put enough emphasis on how important the next session is going to be. Make sure you're there logged in with your friends and family. Until then, we are at the end of this session. Good night, stay safe, and see you in the next one.